Hey, Stano here, and if you can see by the disco floor and the lights, I am going to talk about today Saturday Night Fever, 1977. I did not see this movie in the theater. I was too young. I saw it later when I was a teenager, but Saturday Night Fever, 1977, disco movie, kind of a love story. Yeah, I kind of think there is a little bit there, and we'll get into that, but I just love this movie. Yeah, we all love it for the dancing, right? We all love it for John Travolta and his acting, but the other performances are great too, and we're going to get into that today. So the performances, Saturday Night Fever, the opening scene, right? The opening scene. Everybody loves the opening scene of Saturday Night Fever. The paint can, him walking, grabbing the pizza, just awesome, awesome opening. And you have the great John Travolta. John Travolta is such a great actor. When he was young, he was just a teenage heartthrob. Everybody loved him. While they were filming this movie, it was really hard because he was very popular at the time. And it was hard. If you go back and watch some of the behind the scenes, you see people everywhere looking at this, them filming this movie, just trying to get a glimpse of John Travolta. And one thing I want to tell you too, after this movie was released in 1977, they re-released it in 1979 as a PG version, just so people could see it in the theater, him dancing. It's just awesome. The music, the Bee Gees, awesome, right? Robert Stingwood, he got the Bee Gees. He commissioned them to write the songs. There is a great documentary about the Bee Gees that was on CNN. They show you they were in England. They wrote the songs, sent them to Robert Stingwood, and he loved them and put them in the movie. It won Best Album of the Year. The movie was a hit in 1977. It extended disco for 5 years. Disco was dying, and it extended disco for 5 years. So the other members in this movie, Karen Lynn Gorney, what a great performance in this. She's the love interest. I would say the love interest. Tony wanted to make it, whether wanted to be with her, but she was an older woman and she didn't want to be with him. Just the way she opened up, how she was turned off by him. She knew he was attractive, right? But she didn't want anything to do with him, right? Great performance in this. And then you have the great Donna Pesco, who plays Annette. Annette loved Tony in this movie, but he did not want to be with Annette, right? But they were great dance partners together. They won actually the dance contest together before, and he was going to have her in the dance contest, but he really wanted Stephanie, right? She is so good in this movie. Just go and watch it. Her performance is really good in this, as trying to lead on to getting Tony to fall in love with her, but he doesn't want any part of her. And then you have the great Barry Miller, who's been in so many movies, so many shows. Barry Miller is just so good in this, playing Bobby C, who has an issue in this movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to tell you, but go watch this. Great performance in this. And then you have the great Joseph Cali, who I think he's been in soap operas. I really haven't seen anything he was in, but he is great as Joey in this. Just really good. And then you have Paul Pape, I think that's how you say it. He plays Double J. He's the tough guy out of the friends. Very tough, and I just want to say they all dance in this movie. They all dance. You could see them dancing in this movie. He's the tough guy in the movie, but he is really, really good as well. And then you have, this is the three of them together in a scene when Tony's, he asks Stephanie to be in the dance contest with her, and they're practicing and they meet up one night. But this scene is really good if you get a chance to see the movie. And then I have one last person to talk about, and that's Julie Bafaso, who is a famous actress. The last movie I seen her in was Moonstruck. She was in. She's been gone a long time now, but such a great actress. She plays the mother. She is so good in the movie. The father, I can't remember his name. If you can put a comment below. The father in this movie is so good too. There's so many other people in this movie I can mention. You'll see some people in this movie. Oh, I know that person. I've seen him in this movie. Just go back and watch this. It's just so good. And her performance as Tony's mom is just so good. But as I said earlier, there is scenes in this movie, the dancing, the acting's really good. But to me, there are 3 scenes in this movie that I love, that it is part of the dancing. One of them is, but another one is two serious scenes. And one of the scenes is Tony and Stephanie kind of get in a fight, right? And she breaks down and cries, right? And Tony doesn't want to see her cry. So he takes her to the bridge in New York, I think is the Verrazano Bridge, I think it is. But he takes her to the bridge and he starts talking to her at the bridge. And just in this scene, I love, because she's very upset, right? She doesn't, she's just, sad. She looks down. To calm her down, he sits here and just starts talking about the bridge, right? Saying, I know everything about this bridge. He's just, in this scene, you can hear it. He's just telling her, he just everything he knows about the bridge, just how it was built, how long the spans are. And look at how she's just looking at him. And, she just says, you know everything about the bridge, don't you? And he's like, I know everything about that bridge. And he also tells about a guy who is actually buried in the bridge. But he's calming her down. Have you ever done this to calm somebody down? You tell them a story to just take their mind off of it. And I know he curses in this one scene here. I'm going to lower it here. But what I love afterwards, he talks about how he sits here and daydreams. You ever go to a place and just sit and think and just take everything out of your mind and just sit and daydream about anything, have thoughts? But here's what I love the most right here. To thank him, she actually is going to give him a kiss, but not sure if she wants to. But this is her thank you to calming her down. And if you look very closely, look at how Tony's got tears in his eyes. Look at that. He's got tears in his eyes. Just look how sweet that is. Now, the next scene I'm going to bring in here is the dance contest. We all know, if you haven't seen it, the dance contest goes on. But what I love in the dance is not the dance, but when they finally kiss for the first time, the smiles on their face. And then there's one shot of Stephanie when she puts her arm out right before they turn around. Look at the smile on her face, how happy she is. I just love that scene. And this is it here. This is them dancing. And, this is the famous kiss coming. Now, he's an 18-year-old kid. And she wasn't sure if she wanted to date an 18-year-old kid. And I don't think she still wants to. She just wants to show how much she cares about him, right? And this is the big kiss coming up right here. But once the kiss is over and the Bee Gees song playing in the background is just so awesome. It just makes the scene. And just look at the cuts here. Just how great the cuts are. One cut after the other as they're spinning. And then now they look at each other. And this is the famous look. They both smile like, yeah, there's a little bit of love here, right? And just watch when she puts her arm out. Look at the smile on her face. I just love this shot right here. Here comes the smile. Here comes the smile. Look at them. They're both smiling. But watch the shot. Here it comes. Right there. Look at her smile. Look at that. I just love that right there. That is just so, so awesome. And now I'm going to talk about my last scene. And this is, Tony and her have a little bit of a fight, right? And he's tired of his friends, right? He wants to change his life. And he wants to be like her, right? She's very professional, very successful. She lives in a nice place. He wants to get a better job. So in this scene, he wants to just be friends with her. And she's afraid, right? She's afraid that he doesn't want to be friends. He wants more than friends. And he says, no, I can try. And I just love this scene right here. She's just talking to him and Tony's talking to her. And, he's like, he wants to be friends with her. And she's like, do you think you can be friends with a girl? Do you think you can try? And he's thinking, and he's like, I don't know. But what I love the most in this scene, just watch the hands when she says, okay, we're going to be friends. And then the Bee Gees song starts. They grab hands. She's looking at him. Okay, I think we can do this. He looks at her. And then the hands. Here comes the two hands embracing. Here it is. I just love this right there. And the Bee Gees song in the background. It is just so great. And we're going to be friends. Have you ever had something like this? And then here comes the embrace. And it's not a big hug. It's just a slow embrace. And he puts his hand on her hip. I just love this right here. I just think it's so, so awesome right here. Look at this. Right there. And that is my 3 favorite scenes. I love the movie, but I just love those scenes. They're quick. The one is very quick with her arm coming out. The scene of them at the bridge is really great. Him trying to calm her down. And at the end there, to be friends. So let me tell you something. If this is your first time watching, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. This is the Stano Show. This is what I like to do. Talk about movies. Talk about scenes. Talk about scenes that people have not seen or maybe missed. So I hope you can join me when I have these, and leave comments below. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.